What's up guys, Ian Sandusky from Let's Machine back here again for Practical Machinist. Before we get started, make sure you guys like and subscribe below if you want to see more videos. Let's get into it. So today guys, on Shop Talk, we're going to be talking about the top 3 ways to find work. This has been a very popular discussion, very popular video when I've done it before. It's one that has changed over the years. You know, I think the first talk I had on YouTube about how to find work was about 4 years ago. The core of the message stays the same, but the ways I've gone about it has changed. So more or less, there are 3 main ways I use to find work. As you guys know who are in the position to find work, finding work is probably the number one most difficult thing to do, especially when you're starting out. Even when you're in a company like this one that's been around for 30 years, there are times where I need to go out and find work, because if you don't have work, you can't get paid. If you can't get paid, you can't pay your guys, and so on and so forth. Finding work is essential. Before I tell you my top 3, I want to ask you guys in the comments below to write your top 3 ways to find work, or strategies you use to find work. So the number one place I go to find work are my existing customers. And that may sound a little bit silly, but the logic behind it is this. Most companies that I work with and do work for are on the larger side. Yeah, I have some smaller guys and I have some bigger guys, but most of them are, you know, fairly large companies, fairly established companies. If they have, let's say, if they're building a machine and they have 30 components for that machine, at any given time, I may only be doing 2 or 3. Maybe I'm doing 4. At the end of the day, there's very little chance that for a lot of these companies, I'm doing 100% of their machining. Now, there's a lot of reasons behind that. One, maybe they don't know my capabilities. Some of these big companies, you know, the purchasers in them may not know the difference between a mill and a lathe. They may not know what wire EDM is. They may not know that, you know, you can source laser cut stuff. You know, I don't have a laser in-house, but I source laser cut stuff and work with it all the time. They may not know that. And at the end of the day, that's on me for not communicating it. But at a lot of these companies, as purchasers change and, you know, the people in charge of buying stuff, you know, those roles change, they may not be aware. So the number one place I go to find more work is to my existing customers. I like to reach out to them and just ask them what they have going on. You know, do you have any new projects coming up? Do you have any parts you'd like me to take a look at that you may already be getting machined somewhere else? Maybe some parts, you know, I make this part, another guy makes this part. We're both just machinists. But, you know, I asked them, hey, you know what, do you have anything that you're kind of questioning your pricing on right now that I can take a look at, see if I can get you a better price on? I got tons of work from doing that. At the end of the day, it's easiest to get work from an existing customer because that relationship is already there. They know, hopefully, that I have good turnaround time, that I have high quality, good customer service. They already like working with me or they wouldn't be ordering from me. So being able to build on that relationship and get more work out of them is a lot easier than trying to go into somewhere cold where I have to introduce myself, etc. So the number one place I go to find work are my existing customers. The second place I go are customers or people that I have quoted on things for that I haven't worked with in a long time. My company, Liquid Machine and Tool, we've been here for 30 years. If I go on our Quickbooks on our customer list, there are hundreds and hundreds of different companies we've worked with over the years. There are companies that we worked with once in 1995. There are companies that we have worked with from, you know, 1992 till 2000, and then again from 2010 till now. There are companies that I've quoted on things 5 times for over the years, and I've never got a single piece of work out of them. You know, it's just the way this business goes. So my second place to look is to go through that old QuickBooks list, or, you know, I have an actual Excel spreadsheet that when I quote things out for customers or even just potential customers, I keep track of them. I keep track of when I talk to them. I keep track of what that job was. I keep track of what my response time was and what their response was. Therefore, you know, in a year, if I haven't heard anything from them, I can go and follow up them and say, hey, listen, you know, I mean, obviously I'm going to follow up for a year, but I can go a year later and say, hey, listen, you know what? We didn't really connect on that last project you were doing. What do you have going on right now? You know, maybe I wasn't so good for the prototyping for that, you know. My company's not great at prototypes. I don't know why. We never do well on them. We make them nicely, but in terms of our actual back end, you know, how we do financially on them, we just don't do very well. So maybe, you know, my cost was too high for prototypes, and now a year in, they're doing production, and I can touch base with them and say, hey, listen, I remember looking at that disc you did. Why don't you let me take a look? Did you make any changes? And you have to remember, even if it didn't work out then, maybe they went with another company. Maybe they had a company that had better pricing or better turnaround because I was too busy at the time. It just didn't connect at that moment. Maybe now they're sick of that supplier they're using. Maybe they've been jerking them around. Maybe they kind of found out why cheap suppliers aren't so good. There's a lot of reasons why it may not have worked out the first time that it could work out now. You know what? Maybe their purchaser just didn't like me. And now there's a new purchaser and him and I get along a lot better. These are all reasons, and very real reasons, that I've gotten work, a year, 2 years, 5 years after initially contacting a company that it didn't work out for. Another thing you can do is reach out to companies. I mean, guys, we all screw up now and again. Nobody's perfect. I've lost customers, 5 years ago because we screwed up on a job. We didn't do what we were supposed to do. We sent out bad parts, whatever it was, we screwed up. I reached out to them 5 years later, 2 years later, whatever it is, after, that relationship didn't really end so well, and said, hey, listen, you know what? I'd like to get in touch with you, see how things are going. Not even try to hard sell them or anything, and ended up getting work out of that. There's also the customers that have just lost touch with you over the years. I have one customer that used to do work with us, literally, like I mentioned, in the 90s, and my old man knew him, and then for some reason it died out. About 5 years ago, I got in touch with him as if he was a new customer. I had no idea because I was very new at doing sales. And now we do work for them all the time. It just didn't work out, some things switched around. So reaching out to customers or people that you've already spoken to in the past is my number 2 way to find work. The third way, and I guess it's kind of the final way, is cold calling. And the reason why cold calling, this is at the top of a lot of people's lists, and mine it's at the bottom. And that's because cold calling is the number 1 most difficult way, least bang for your buck way to find work. The struggle of introducing yourself to a new company that may not know anything about you, convince them to send you things to quote on it, convince them that you're worth working for, trying to find companies that do work with yours. The whole environment of cold calling is a high effort, low return method of finding work. It's difficult, but it works. I do cold calling all the time. I personally don't cold call on the phone. I feel cold calling on the phone is very demanding of people's time. It's the same thing, that old way of walk in, give them a brochure. I've done that too. Both those ways I find are very demanding of people's time. So I do them, but I try to use those methods sparingly. I mostly have a template email that introduces myself, the company, our capabilities, and most importantly, invites them to send me things to quote on. Guys, if you're sending out emails, I know some of you guys do this because I've gotten emails like this, and you're just introducing the company and that's it, there's no reason to get in touch with you, unless it's, I literally need laser and you say laser in there. There's no reason. You need to ask a question and give them an incitement to talk to you. Hey, right now you're getting some work done here, or you're doing these parts. Do you have any upcoming work I can take a look on to see if there's a good fit? You need to have that call to action in there to make sure they send you something, because otherwise they're gonna look at it and say, oh, Lakewood Machine and Tool, cool, and that's it. Cold calling is the oldest form, I would say, and most practiced form of finding work, but I would say it should be the last on your list of methods to find work. Those top 2 that I talked about previously will give you way more bang for your buck and end up being way more productive for you than the third. The third is still important. You still need to go find new customers, because at the end of the day, we always need to get fresh blood and all that coming in the door. But that should not be your main focus. If you're devoting hours a week, that should be the least, or at least after you've exhausted the first 2. Okay? Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope this has been helpful. I don't know if you guys have seen, but we launched a brand new shop tour series on Practical Machinist. It's amazing. Make sure you guys go check it out. Make sure you guys comment below. I do want to hear some of your strategies for finding work, because this is such a nebulous, difficult thing that I feel a lot of people struggle with. So anything you can say will help, okay? Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Thank you very much for watching, guys. You take care.